So if the president closes the borders for our general good, ours is to ask questions, why did you close the borders? I believe that the president of the country will not intentionally starve Nigerians of anything that is good. But sometimes thinking, strategies, and the way they are implemented may affect some persons or inflict injuries on the Nigerian people. That is a correct thing. Now, I think that let us center it on the issue that they wanted homegrown domestic products. They want such things. And when the borders are open, series of crops, rice, beans, and all that were being brought into the country. Some persons are bringing vessels loaded with ammunition and smaller arms, protecting such with goods and services, goods, so that you don't know whether there are guns and ammunition and they were coming to the country. Or it's also possible that there is something they've heard that is going to happen and they're trying to prevent it. So we should take it easy. Now, again, we had the border closure is going to be extended for some time. That means that maybe they are making some practical gain that is in favor of the country. I don't think they will decide to still keep on closing the borders for some time. So me, not that I'm supporting that the borders should be closed for a very long time, but if the government is doing it for our general security and for the growth of our economy, I don't have any problem. But if they are doing it without adequate knowledge of just for the purpose of doing so, which I don't think is the issue, that one may not support. So I have nothing against closing the borders for a short period of time to either correct some anomalies or to checkmate whatever they are trying to checkmate, whether based on security or whatever else.
All right, distinguished Senator Sekibo, you made a motion earlier today on the illegal security activities of Messrs. OMLS Limited and the safe anchorage area of Lagos ports, and the need to investigate their excesses. So just for the purpose of this interview, highlight for us the critical aspects of that motion and how you want to see it.
Yes, first, I believe that when Nigerians sees figures and money, that is what they will be concentrating on. But that's not my focus. Mm-hmm. My focus is NPA is telling OMSL security operatives to stop. That where they are carrying out that function is within their own jurisdiction, and that for the purpose of safeguarding and protecting that environment well, they are secure some vessels for the Nigerian Navy to do so. So they didn't want any other private security corporations or companies to carry out business in that area, take money and causing hardship on owners of ships. More so, these monies are not paying to the coffers of the Federation. Now, our fears is this: if they stop the OMSL Limited from carrying out what they are doing there, and then some havoc that happens, who do you hold responsible? That is a major issue. That is the first primary issue. Because you will see that the ports in the south are not working. Today, the ports in Lagos are working very well. Now, if there's a security conflict among operators within the vicinity of the port area, and it is not resolved, it will give us further security problems. And if such thing comes, then ships from foreign countries may not be able to move in and have access to betting at the Lagos ports. So we need to know which agencies are in that infraction, so we're able to resolve the problem. Because whatever Nigeria does, two things stand affect the Constitution and perhaps extant laws derive from the Constitution. So we have to look at it. If what they are doing is legitimate, they should go ahead with what they are doing, because they want safety. If it is not legitimate, we will tell them to stop it, but it is not legitimate. If what the NPA is saying is not correct, we will tell them what they are saying is not correct. If what they are claiming is not within the area given to them to manage, we will tell them, yes, the extent of the territorial water given to manage within these nautical miles and not beyond these nautical miles. So we will look at all these variations and be sure that we bring peace among the operators of the port. Otherwise, if they are forcefully evicted from that place and then they go, maybe some other persons, either Paris or whoever, can just go in and inflict some injuries and then send wrong signal that, oh, if we are going to Lagos port, these such and such things are happening, which happen in the south areas. We don't want them to repeat in Lagos area. So we need to safeguard and protect the waterways of also the Lagos ports. That is the central issue for the. But the other issue is that there is a friction, a conflict between NPA, NIMASA, and Navy, and then the OMSL Limited. Again, we have to look at it properly, whether there is a way to resolve it. That is why we are here, so we can find out details from them and then bring it to an end. So in the event OMSL is not doing the right thing and we ask them to vacate, then we need to empower Navy with the same power they were using to do this work better. Now, NPA is saying that you are operating within our domain. Our domain. We did not approve for you or ask you under any condition to operate within that vicinity. That is what the NPA is saying. But OMSL is saying that they are operating beyond NPA's borders. Are you getting me? But one thing is certain. What is certain? There is a 1954 Ports Act. There's an act for the ports. We will look at the act. We will look at the delineation and all that. The important thing is to be sure that organizations helping the country to either raise money or provide security don't go into conflict among themselves. If they do so, there will be security impasse in the country. The first question is that, the budget processes has different processes. First, the president has to lay the budget. Second, the second reading has to be taken. The third, it has to be sent to committees that now forms like subcommittees to the appropriation committee, and then they will invite ministries, departments, and agencies to come forward and defend the budget, their own budget. I think all these processes have been completed. Now, having that one done, the subcommittees of the appropriation committee will now be presenting their findings to the appropriation committee. And I believe that many of the committees have done that, but maybe a few may still have been hanging around. That is why you don't see the chairman, committee on appropriation, and many of the members in the chamber today, because many of them are still toggling between here and there to conclude the budget presentation. I think on our timetable, by that 28th or 29th or so thereabout, we should be able to pass the budget and then allow the presidency to handle it. But one good thing that we have been able to achieve now is this. Both committees of the two chambers often meet with the agencies and the ministries and then take the budget from them completely, hold meetings and approve the same figures. So the issue of harmonization here and there may not likely occur. If it will occur, it will be on very few and mild areas. So I think that we have done so much. If this tempo continues, I believe before we go on long vacation, before we go on Christmas vacation, we will be able to pass the budget, and the president may also assent, and then perhaps announce it or sign it into law on 1st of January 2020. I think we have done very well. If that expression is okay, then we talk about the other leg of the equation. Well, Lujimi is a lawmaker who has been here for one term. So he's coming for a second term now. He's coming for a second term. But having spent 4 years in the National Assembly, she may have gripped the terms of its working principles. She will be much more productive than a new senator coming in, because she knows the rules. She may have mastered the standing orders. She may have mastered the Constitution, and she may have had a glimpse of some of the extant laws that the country has. So I think she'll be very, very productive. And for those of us who are in People's Democratic Party, it's welcoming back our lady and our princess to come and join us and help us to see how we can checkmate the opposition, so Nigeria will be a better place.
How well do you think the opposition in the legislative process, how do you party has performed in terms of being an opposition party? Do you think you are doing enough?
We are doing it. We are doing. The issue is this. You know, when opposition, when you are a senator, first of all, you are elected. You are a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is the first. Yes, you come from somewhere. So first is to protect Nigerian activities, and then second to protect state activities or regional activities, and then finally maybe personal activities. So if you go in that direction, if there is a major national issue, and that issue has a good bearing on the country, you will all support it. You cannot say because you are in opposition and say that this is not good. You can't say so. Since we started, we have not gotten certain such negative issues. So until you get negative issues, you will not know whether the opposition will work very hard or not. The screening of ministers, for me, is not an issue. Because whether you say you support this minister or not, or whatever question you ask, which we did, they will put the question. When they put the question, if the Senate president who is presiding want the person to go through, it might go through. Because sometimes against even the voice vote, he can say the yeas have it. Or he might say the nays have it. But because they is from that political party, he is to protect submissions of the president. So oftentimes, either you are against the persons or not, the yeas would always have its own way. But that is not fighting against the nation. That is something I think after we are groomed up for some time, I mean in National Assembly, we will overcome such things. As at now, there is some kind of personal attachment to issues or political attachment to issues. But I believe we are growing because we are better now than when I came to the Senate in 2007. You know, so we are developing. I believe that sometimes we compare ourselves to America. One will likely ask that question: where was America when they were only 20 years old in their democracy? None of us can answer it here. They have gone through these tutelage, these problems. They have also gone through them. But now they are 200 and something years old in democracy. So they are very old and adult persons. We are crawling. Well, I believe that with time we will also get up, stand on our feet, start walking, then learn how to run, and then we become expert sprinters. So I think we are doing well as a chamber.
There's also an issue which Nigerians would have expected to have been raised on the floor of the Senate. The issue of the president traveling out of the country for 2 weeks plus, and there is no transmission of a letter to the National Assembly to hand over responsibilities to the vice president. Nigerians had expected that at least since you are the opposition, because you don't expect members of the ruling party to raise that issue, that the opposition should have raised the issue and the need for the president to have transmitted a letter handing over responsibilities to the vice president, and seeing also other issues surrounding the power play in the villa. So who would have expected that at least the opposition should latch on that and let Nigerians know the situation of things?
Let me start from here, the power play. If the president and the vice president are fighting, why should I bring emotion on it? That the president and vice president are fighting, we should resolve the crisis or whatever. No. As a member of the opposition, I'll stay quiet. Let them fight more. Don't you know? Because when Jesus Christ in the Bible says this, that if a house divides against itself, that house will fall. Is not so? So if your opposition is not fighting against itself, our own is to go into better prayers and fasting. They should fight more. They should even change physical blows. That's what we will pray. Not to go and ask questions, why are they fighting? It's not our business. The other issue is that the president frequent traveling. Well, every person has a way to carry out his own responsibility. If he thinks that he's traveling around the world, he's solving Nigerian problem, we are monitoring him. But as opposition, we will not talk about it now. We will talk about it when that is traveling, bring to bear on the country certain level of failures. Then we can say, it was not there, this thing happened, it was not there, this thing happened, and so on and so. You can say that one. But now it's too early. When did we start? Just June or so. We started this session. So we'll be monitoring him, and then we say, but we too, as opposition members, we are seeing his frequent travels as embarrassment to the country. It appears some people are just scheduling for travels. It may not even be his own program. You know, if you come back from maybe one country today, after 2 days he goes out. So how will he know what are the Nigerian problems and how to address them effectively? We are aware of it. But you see, you don't attack immediately. When footballers are playing, they will dribble first, go this side, go that side. Then when they are sure that they can get it right, they now strike the ball to the goal. So I believe that in due time, it will not be long, these issues will be brought to bear. There is even one fundamental question you did not ask. We had that they signed that budget on petroleum contract sharing in London. It was taken to London to sign. It's unfortunate. I don't think it's true. And so I don't want to join issue with it. I don't think it's true. Because social media can just capture anything and write anything. But let's watch if it is true. I am not saying that if he signs something outside his office, it will not be tenable. Because the law didn't say so. But there is also a moral dimension of it. Are you supposed to sign our law in UK? Is there any UK Prime Minister or whoever has been in this country or any other country and endorsed a major law of the nation in another country? Why did he sign a law in that place? Is he going to stay for 1 month? Is he not going to come back? If he's going to come back in 2-3 days, why don't you wait? When he comes back, we present it before him to sign. For me, it's an embarrassment on the nation. It means that those who are managing him are not managing him effectively very well.